Welcome. We will begin today's practice from a seated position. If you are sitting directly on your mat and you notice that your pelvis is slightly tucked under and that there is more pressure on your low back, or if you are sitting cross-legged and your knees are further up in an upright position and it's difficult to get them to relax down, we will use a pillow or a prop underneath the seat to help elevate the hips to create space in the body for a more comfortable seated position. When you find a position where your pelvis can sit in an upright neutral position, we'll use that as the solid base for our seat. Feel the crown of your head reach upward so that we can elongate through the natural spine. Let your shoulders and jaw relax. Imagine stacking your breastbone or your sternum over top of your hips and your chin lines up over top of your breastbone. Begin to draw your awareness inward, noticing your natural breath and breathing today. We will begin to shape our breath, inviting the breath to come longer and deeper into the body. As we inhale, draw the inhale in and downward, moving into your pelvic bowl, moving into that space underneath your low belly button. Feel the gentle expansion here as you draw that air in deep and long and slow. As you exhale, let the exhale move out with the same qualities as the inhale, long and slow and deliberate, smooth and easeful. Begin to land here with a rhythm in your breath. Allow that inhale to match the length of the exhale so that everything is smooth and even, consistent. When you have found that consistency for your breath, we'll begin to move. As you inhale, draw the arms and the fingertips down and around, out, reaching out towards the side and continuing to reach all the way up overhead, extending up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the palms of the hands together, drawing the hands downward through heart center, coming back to the beginning. As you inhale, reaching the arms out and around, fingertips reaching up. Exhale, drawing the palms down through center. Stay with this rhythm, stay with this flow, beginning to move with the breath. On your next inhale in, as both arms reach up towards the ceiling, keep the left arm extended, and as you exhale, let the right hand come back down to the side, reaching the fingertips, planting the palm into the floor. As you continue to exhale, bend into the right elbow and let your right torso lean into the right side, opening through the left side of the body. As you inhale, come up, pushing through the right hand, drawing both arms back up. And as you exhale, let the left hand come down, bending into the left side body. Continue to flow from side to side, every inhale reaching up through center, elongating through the natural spine. Every exhale bending into the opposite side, gently pressing into the torso, letting the far side open up, flowing. As you continue with this side-to-side flow, we'll change the movement slightly. On the next inhale, after the left side, as you come back up to center, both arms extended, this time We'll begin to keep the seat planted, but turn the belly, the ribs, and the chest towards the right, looking over the right shoulder. As you continue to exhale, both arms can gently float down, reaching towards the ground, resting for support. As we inhale, both arms sweep up through center. We untwist, coming back to face forward. And as we exhale, leading with the belly, the ribs, and the chest, we'll turn towards the left, letting the arms float down, looking over the left shoulder. Keep twisting from side to side, flowing with your breath, using every inhale to come back through center. The next time you end on the left side, we'll inhale, come back up through center, reaching the fingertips up. As we exhale, bring the palms together, drawing the hands down through heart center. Slide the palms of the hands out on your legs, using the hands as support. Inhale, get nice and tall through the spine. As you exhale, lean into the right side and let your entire torso, hinging on the top of the hips, roll forward and then over to the left side. As you inhale, come back through center and continue to exhale to the right, moving the torso in circles on top of the hips. On your next circle around, come back to center. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, relax. As you inhale again, extend up, and as you exhale, begin to make the torso circles on top of the hips in the opposite direction, this time leaning into the left first, rolling the body forward, and moving over towards the right before coming back up through center. Coming one more time around, circle back to center. Inhale here and breathe. Feel the echoes of the pose and of the flow in your body. Feel the prana that has been gently stirred up. Extending the legs out front, bringing the hands to the side body, gently swing the legs around and behind you so that we can move onto our hands and knees. Bring the palms to the floor, and if there's no tenderness in the wrist, we'll stack the wrists under the elbows and the elbows under the shoulders. The knees can stack under the hips. If there is tenderness in your wrists, we can either walk the hands ahead of the shoulders to decrease the pressure, or find a blanket to put under the hands and the knees to reduce the impact of being on a harder floor. Once we find our stable position in kneeling, as we inhale, press the crown of the head forward and the tail extending behind. Find your breath rhythm here. As you exhale, tuck your tail under, lift your spine up, let your head hang in between your arms. As you inhale, lift the tail, let the belly fill, and let the heart lift forward. Flowing with your breath, every exhale, the tail tucks, spine lifts, head hangs. Every inhale, tail lifts, belly fills towards the floor, and the heart and chin lift forward. If this flow feels good in your body and it feels stable and secure, then continue here. We can also change this expression slightly by changing the poses slightly. So as you exhale and the spine lifts, begin to draw the tail back towards the heels, allowing the torso to fold forward over the thighs. Reach the palms far forward, planting through the hands. As we inhale, move the hips back forward through that kneeling position, but then continue to allow the hips and the heart to move forward and up, coming into a big back bend. Exhale, the hips shift back towards the heels, torso folds forward. Inhale, the hips and heart move forward and up. On your next exhale, let the hips sink back towards the heels. Let your torso fold forward and rest here. With the arms extended, we can bend through the elbows, lifting the hands off the floor, and gently move the hands and wrists in circles to relieve any pressure in this joint. And then begin to move the hands in the opposite direction. Gently release the palms of the hands back down, and as you inhale, let the hips shift forward back into our kneeling position. Allowing the wrists to stack under the elbows under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Draw the crown of the head forward as you inhale, and the tail reaches behind you. Find your balance on all four limbs here. On your next inhale, shift the weight into the left shin as you extend the right foot back, pressing the ball of the right foot onto the floor. As you exhale, draw the right knee back in and come back to all fours. As you inhale again, shift the weight into the right leg, drawing the left foot back, resting on the ball of the left foot. As you exhale, draw the left leg back in, resting on all fours. Continue to do this, moving from side to side. Every inhale, extending the opposite foot back, pressing through the ball of the foot of the extended leg. Every exhale, drawing the limb back in so that all 4 limbs are back on the ground in a kneeling position. As you continue into this flow, if it feels appropriate in your body, we can add the extra component of extending the opposite arm of whichever leg is extending back. For example, as you inhale and extend the right foot back, pressing into the ball of the right foot, we can extend the left arm forward, thumb turned up, fingers extended forward. As we exhale, all 4 limbs return back to center in our kneeling position. As we inhale, the left foot draws back, pressing into the ball of the left foot as the right arm extends forward. Exhale, all 4 limbs return back to center. Moving through one more time from side to side, and then allowing all 4 limbs to come back into our kneeling position. Plant through the palms of the hands and curl the toes under. Draw your elbows in so that when you bend into them, they point back at your knees. On an exhale, press into the hands, curl the toes under, lift the knees, and begin to lift your hips up and move them back towards the wall behind you, lengthening through your neutral spine. Keep your knees soft and bent so that you can find that extra length through the torso. If it feels good, we can pedal the feet from side to side to gently help open that back side of the body. After a couple of pedals, find stillness here, breathe. Relax through the shoulders, relax through the jaw, let the head hang. Looking forward, in between the hands, begin to walk the feet through bended knees, walking the feet all the way up in between the hands. Plant the feet about hip width apart. Find stability in the soles of the feet, and then let the torso hang freely forward. Let the arms be loose, let the head be loose, and it might even feel good to sway from side to side. Coming back to stillness in this forward fold, bend into your knees, let the torso rest on your thighs, tuck your chin in towards your chest, round your spine, and gently press into the feet, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to standing, keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest until very last, and until any dizziness subsides. Then gently raise the head to come into our standing position. If you're not at the top edge of your mat, I invite you to come forward to find standing here. Allow the feet to land hip width apart. Soften through the soles of your feet and draw your awareness into the big toe mound under the big toe, the pinky toe mound under the pinky toe, and in the center of your heel. Imagine these 3 points connecting into the earth, grounding you, and everything else being relaxed and soft. Relax through the knees so that they can stack over top of the ankles. Let your hips stack over the knees and feel your crown extend upward towards the ceiling, just like in seated, so we can find a long neutral spine. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Breathe here. Reconnect to that rhythm of breath if you've lost it. Allow the gaze to look forward and rest on a spot that is still and unmoving, finding a focus point so that you can allow the eyes to rest and find internal balance. When your eyes have landed and the focus is soft on the focus point, bring the palms together at the heart. Notice the balance between the 2 feet and gently begin to shift the weight into the left foot simply by bending into the right knee, coming up onto the ball of the right foot. Gently begin to turn the right femur outward, drawing the right foot nice and close to the left ankle. Breathe here. If it feels appropriate, on an exhale, finding balance through the left leg, we can begin to slide the right sole of the foot up onto the calf of the left leg, not onto the kneecap. We do not want to endanger the knee. Stay focused, stay present, and stay with breath, finding your balance here in tree pose. Staying with this pose, gently begin to bend into the left knee. Lift the right foot slightly off the calf, and still with that external rotation of the leg, step the right foot back, placing the entire foot on the ground behind you, coming into a long lunge stance. As you look down, make sure that your left knee lines up with your left armpit. And when you look down, the right foot that's turned slightly out to the right behind you lines up with your right armpit so that your feet look like they could be on railroad tracks. They are not one in front of the other. This will help support our balance in our next upcoming poses. Take a bend into the left knee. Make sure that the knee stacks only above the ankle and doesn't move past. You will know when you bend in if you can no longer see your front left toes. Keeping the palms of the hands back at the heart. As you inhale, extend through both legs. As you exhale, bend into the front leg. Keep flowing with your breath, every inhale extending through both, every exhale lunging in. As you continue with your flow, we can keep the arms here in front of the heart, palms pressed together. Or as you inhale, extending through both legs, we can draw the arms up overhead. As you exhale, keeping the arms extended. Inhale, lift up, extending through both legs, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, lunging in. Staying with this flow, we'll add one more extra component. After you lunge in, on your next inhale, extend through both legs, reaching the arms up. As you exhale, let the arms come down to the sides and pressing back through the left foot, pressing the hips behind you, hinge forward from the torso, leading with the crown of the head. Coming down so that the chest maintains its being parallel with the ground. As you inhale, the torso unfolds, coming all the way back up, arms up overhead. As you exhale, lunge into the left leg. Continue with this flow, inhaling, extending through the legs, exhaling, folding forward over the left leg. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, lunging into the left leg. The next time you have lunged into the left leg, bring the palms of the hands to rest for support on the left thigh. Pivot on the toes of the right foot to turn the toes forward and gently step the right leg forward, pressing into the hands for support. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing. And when you're ready, continue our sun breaths as we inhale, draw the fingers out and around, reaching the fingertips all the way up. As we exhale, drawing the hands down through heart center. On your next exhale, when the hands are down through heart center, resting palms together, we will allow the eyes to land on our focus point once again. This time, moving the weight into the right foot simply by bending the left leg, coming up onto the ball of the left foot. Gently turn the left leg outward and slide the left heel in towards the right ankle. Find your balance here. Inhale, use the opportunity to lengthen and elongate the natural spine with the crown reaching upward. Exhale, soften shoulders, soften jaw, soften through the sole of the right foot. Stay here with breath. And if it feels appropriate on your next exhale, we can gently begin to slide the sole of the left foot up the inside of the right calf, letting it land not on the knee but on the calf itself. Breathe. Take a big inhale in, bend into the right knee, lift the left foot off the right leg, and keeping that rotation outward in the left leg, step the left foot back so that the foot lands at a slightly 45-degree-ish angle out towards the left. Take stock of your stance. Make sure that the right leg lines up with the right armpit and the left foot lines up with the left. Bend into the right knee this time, making sure that the right knee only ever stacks above the right ankle. With the hands still at the heart, we can begin our flow on this side. Every inhale extending through both legs, every exhale lunging in. If you want to add the added component of the arms, as you inhale, reach the arms up, fingertips extend up towards the sky. As you exhale, lunging in, keeping the arms extended, relax through the shoulders, relax through the jaw. On your next inhale, as you extend up through the legs, reaching the fingertips up, as you exhale, let the arms come down to the sides, hinging forward from the waist, leading with the crown, leaning over the front right leg. Inhale, hinging at the waist, coming all the way back up. Exhale, lunging into the right leg. We'll find this flow on the right side. On your next lunge in the right side, bring the hands down to the thigh for support. Pivot on the toes of the left foot and step your left foot forward. Press in, coming all the way back up to standing, and as we inhale, draw the fingertips out and around, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, palms through heart center. Keep flowing here for a few rounds of sun breath. On your next exhale, bring the hands down through heart center, pause and breathe. Move the feet out towards the outside corners of the short edge of your mat. It might feel good to have the toes pointed slightly outward and the heels pointed slightly inward. Keeping the palms together at the heart center. We'll begin to bend through the knees, sinking the hips downward, coming into a squat. There might come a point of resistance, and wherever it is, just stay there and take a few breaths. Your hips may be able to come all the way down to the floor. Wherever works for you, just stay at your point of resistance and breathe. Take 3 more full deep breaths. And then reaching the hands down to the floor in front of you for support, one knee at a time. Come down first to kneeling. Walk the hands around the side, letting the legs swing forward. Adjust your seat so that it is in the middle of your mat. Bend your knees, plant the soles of your feet on the mat, hanging onto the backs of your thighs for support. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, round your spine, and gently roll all the way down to reclined. When the spine is fully landed, draw the knees one at a time, both up into the chest, gently rocking from side to side. Allow the hands to move behind the backs of the knees, hanging onto the thighs, and then gently move the knees out towards the armpits, putting gentle pressure on the backs of the thighs. Let your feet lift up and outward. Well, here in this position, it might feel nice to move the feet in ankle circles, starting in one direction and then gently moving in the other direction. Coming back to stillness, let the hands slide to the outsides of the thighs, helping the knees come back together and center. Give the knees another hug into the chest, and gently let the soles of the feet come down to the mat, keeping the knees bent. As you exhale, draw the right thigh up towards the chest, give it a hug, and then begin to let the right thigh turn outward, crossing the right ankle over top of the left thigh and letting the ankle move slightly out past the left thigh so that the ankle bone isn't a point of pressure on the leg. Breathe here, bring the hands down to the belly. Notice the hips, if one is lifted higher than the other. If they are, let them find stability. Gently invite them to come back aligned. For another expression of this pose, on your exhale, we can begin to draw the left thigh up, reaching the hands through, threading behind and holding on to the back of the left thigh with the right leg resting on top. However, notice if your shoulders have lifted off the ground, if your jaw has jutted up towards the ceiling, and if your teeth have become clenched. If this is the case, this pose might not be appropriate for you right now today in your own body. So then let the foot rest back down. However, if none of these things occur, we can draw the left thigh into the belly, holding on, resting and relaxing, breathing. If the foot is lifted, gently let it come back down to the mat. Continue to press the right foot further over top of the left thigh so that the right thigh comes to rest on top of the left thigh. Pressing into the left foot, slightly lift the hips and move them over towards the right, letting them land on the right side, bringing the arms out wide, letting the shoulder blades rest into the ground. As you exhale, let the knees come down towards the left side, coming into reclined spinal twist. Take one more breath here. And then as you inhale, let the right leg untwist from the left, leading with the right leg, gently roll back onto your back. Realign the hips back in center and let the right foot come down to the mat. Knees are still bent. As you exhale, draw the left thigh up towards your belly, letting the left leg turn outward, cross the left ankle over top of the right thigh. Again, pushing the ankle slightly past the thigh so it's not resting and creating extra pressure on our ankle joint. Let the hands move to the belly and to the hips. Notice if one hip is sitting higher than the other. Invite it to realign, to match, finding that ease in this pose. And And then choosing if it's right for you today, as you exhale, we can begin to draw that right thigh up towards the chest. But again, notice if shoulders lift, if jaw tightens, or juts up towards the ceiling, that this might not be appropriate today. If it isn't, let the foot come back down to the mat and stay with the leg just over top of the thigh. If the leg is lifted, let it gently come down to the mat, the right foot planting. Then let the left leg continue to cross over the right so that the left thigh is touching the right thigh. Pressing into the right foot, gently lift the hips, moving them over towards the left. If the arms aren't already there, bring the arms out wide and gently let the knees come down towards the right. Gently begin to let the left leg unwind from the right, leading with the left leg. Slowly roll back onto your spine. Readjust the hips back in center, letting both feet come down to the mat. Gently bring the feet wide apart and let the legs windshield wiper from side to side, just undoing the deep twist, helping to normalize and to return back to center. And then choosing a position for a few moments of integration. If you have no low back issues, we can slide the legs out, allowing there to be space between the legs. Let the toes relax outward, the heels relax inward. Bring the hands out away from the body, resting, letting the shoulders relax into the floor. If you have low back concerns, keep the knees bent with the soles of the feet on the floor. Bring the feet wide out towards the edges of your mat. Let the toes turn slightly inward and the heels slightly outward so that the knees can lean in on each other, letting the muscles and tissues relax and letting your skeleton do the lifting to help release through the low back. Whichever position of you land in for integration, allow yourself to find stillness and breathe. Come back to your thoughts, come back to your emotions, notice what is present now. Allow attention to come back to the breath and let go of any breath that we created for practice and let your body breathe naturally. For the next few moments, just allow your attention to follow the natural path of your breath, noticing the nice cool air on the tip of your nose as you inhale, and the nice warm air that moves out as you exhale. I'll bring you back in a moment or two. This is your opportunity to let all the prana that we just generated set into your body to enjoy the benefits of your practice. awareness back into your extremities, wiggling through the fingers, wiggling through the toes. Gently roll the head from one side to the other. Give a nice big stretch. And then gently roll onto a side body of your choice, letting the arm that's underneath support your head and neck. Take a breath here. Then plant the hand that's on top into the floor at your heart space for support. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, round your spine as you press up, gently coming all the way back up to seated. Coming back to the same seated position we started in. Find a comfortable seat that works for you. Sitting up nice and tall, connect back to your natural breath, and we'll seal our practice with a round of Om. Connecting to breath, take an inhale in, inhaling in together. Opening the eyes. Namaste.